It starts with a box, a dusty, half-crushed storage box buried behind old lumber on Coyote Pass. Paedon wasn't supposed to find it. He wasn't even supposed to be looking. But when he opens it, he discovers the one document Kody never meant any of the kids to see. And by the time the family walks into that courtroom, it's already too late. What do you think Paedon should have done the moment he found that file? Tell me in the comments before we begin. The wind on Coyote Pass is sharp the morning Paedon drives up the dirt road, kicking dust behind his truck in long, restless spirals. He isn't here for anything dramatic, at least not at first. He just wants to clear out the old storage shed, the one Kody used to insist held nothing important. But something in Paedon's gut feels off today. Like he's walking into a memory he doesn't fully recognize. The shed door groans when he pulls it open. A wave of stale air rolls out, thick with the smell of old wood, metal, and forgotten years. Sunlight cuts through cracks in the walls, slicing the dust into slow, drifting particles. Paedon steps inside, brushing his hand along the workbench, feeling the grit and coldness beneath his fingertips. He doesn't know what he's searching for, but he knows he has to keep going. That's how it always starts. Boxes stack in crooked towers along the back wall, most unlabeled, some smashed in at the corners. Tools hang where Kody once left them, still coated in desert dirt. A tarp covers something large in the corner. Maybe old furniture, maybe junk Kody didn't want to throw away. Paedon sighs and starts pulling boxes down one by one. The first few are harmless enough. Old Christmas lights, a cracked mirror, a stack of water-damaged photo albums from a time that feels both warm and painful, the kind of memories that used to mean something. Then he reaches the back wall. Behind a pile of broken plywood and an unused propane tank sits a warped cardboard box. It's darker than the others, like it's absorbed more heat, more time, more secrets. The writing on it has faded until it's unreadable. He drags it forward, dust rising like a quiet warning. The box splits at the top when he lifts the flaps. Inside are folders, legal folders, thick with papers. Most are blank, or duplicates of old family documents he's seen 100 times. But at the very bottom, beneath a rolled-up blueprint and a half-torn envelope, lies a folder with a strip of tape across the front. The handwriting is unmistakably his father's. Revised property allocation, final draft? Paedon freezes. It feels like his heartbeat slips out of rhythm, stumbling into a slower, heavier pace. He sits back on his heels, staring at the folder. He doesn't want to open it. Something in him already knows it's going to hurt, but he does it anyway. Inside are multiple pages, each neatly typed, but with handwritten notes in the margins. Kody's notes, his corrections, his private thoughts scribbled in black ink. And the content? It feels like a punch. Paedon reads the first paragraph and his stomach drops. Remove all claims or future rights for Paedon, Robert Garrison, and Gabriel Brown in any jointly owned property. Exclusive future beneficiary status allocated to Robin and her children. Janelle's biological children excluded from long-term land assignments. He feels heat rising behind his eyes. Not anger yet, something worse. The kind of sadness that tastes metallic, like betrayal that's been simmering for years and finally has a physical form. He flips the page. More handwriting, more instructions, more cuts. Kody's voice echoes in his head. The way he'd always say the land would be for all of them. How everyone had a place. How the family would build together. It was all a lie. A cold gust pushes the shed door, and sunlight shifts across the floor, landing on Paedon's shaking hands. He doesn't even realize he's breathing hard. He doesn't realize his jaw is clenched. All he knows is that something inside him is breaking open in a way he can't tape back together. He reads one line again and again. Remove Paedon immediately from succession considerations due to instability. Instability. That's what his father wrote about him. He drops the page. It flutters to the ground like a dead leaf. Paedon puts his hands on his knees, breathing through the heaviness in his chest. He wants to scream. He wants to throw something. But instead, he just sits there, letting the truth sink into his bones. Your own father wrote you out of the family's future. He picks the page back up, his fingers leaving smudges on the edges. He needs to show someone. He needs to bring this into the open. He needs answers. He needs justice. Why would Kody write something like this? The question echoes inside him like a distant thunder. He knows exactly why, and the realization burns. Before he leaves the shed, he notices one more thing inside the box. A small sealed envelope tucked behind the folder. No label, no clue. Just a thin, pale envelope that looks newer than the rest. He hesitates, then opens it. Inside is a small note in Robin's handwriting. Kody, keep this. Don't let the boys see it. We need to finalize everything before the next meeting. Paedon's grip tightens. The betrayal isn't just from his father. Robin knew. She helped. She hid it. That's the moment everything changes. The betrayal isn't theoretical anymore. It isn't emotional. It isn't symbolic. It's written, planned, hidden, intended. And now, Paedon has it in his hands. He walks out of the shed with the folder pressed to his chest, the wind whipping around him like the land itself is trying to warn him that nothing will be the same after today. He doesn't go home. He drives straight to Janelle. When he arrives at her apartment, Janelle opens the door with a warm, confused smile. She wasn't expecting him. She's holding a glass of water, her hair pulled back, eyes soft and tired in the way only mothers understand. But the moment she sees Paedon's face, her expression tightens. What happened? What's wrong? Paedon walks past her into the living room and sets the folder on the table. Mom, he says quietly, you need to see this. Janelle stares at the folder before touching it. Her fingers tremble, just slightly, as she pulls the top page into the light. As she reads, her breath goes shallow, her shoulders draw inward. She presses her lips together, blinking fast like she's trying not to fall apart in front of her son. What is this? She whispers. You know what it is. How long has he? Her voice breaks off. I don't know, but long enough. Janelle reads the line about her boys, her babies, being removed. Then the part about Robin. Then the quietly cruel sentence about instability. Her eyes close. A single tear slips down her cheek. Paedon steps forward, unsure if he should hug her or let her process, but Janelle suddenly turns away and grips the back of the couch like it's the only thing holding her up. She lets out a soft sound, part pain, part disbelief. He was going to do this to you? She whispers. To all of you? To my boys? Paedon nods. Janelle wipes her tears, straightens her spine, and looks at him with a strength he hasn't seen in her in years. We're taking this to court. Paedon expected anger. He expected sadness. But the quiet resolve in her voice makes something shift inside him. Because this isn't the soft, forgiving Janelle who always tried to play mediator. This is a mother, a protector, a woman who has finally reached her breaking point. And breaking points are dangerous. This is the moment everything becomes real. They submit the file to the court the next morning. The clerk behind the counter handles it like any other document. But the moment the judge receives a copy, the entire courthouse seems to wake up. Calls are made. Hearings are rescheduled. A new slot opens on the docket. Within hours, Kody Brown is officially summoned. By the time the family steps into the courtroom, the tension could slit the air. The benches fill with murmurs. Robin clutches her purse to her chest, her eyes scanning the room like everyone is a threat. Kody stands tall, but there's an uneasiness in his posture, a stiffness in his jaw. Janelle sits beside Paedon, her hands clenched in her lap. Christine slips into the back row silently, her face stern. No one speaks, not yet. But everyone feels the storm building. It's Paedon's voice that cuts through the silence first, trembling with a fury he's fought for years. Dad, he says softly, we need to talk about what you wrote. Kody turns, confusion clouding his features, the kind that looks rehearsed. What I wrote? About what? Paedon slides the folder across the table. Kody's face drains of color. He stares at the document like it's a ghost. Something he buried, something he prayed no one would ever find. Robin swallows hard. The judge enters, everyone rises, everyone sits. And then the judge says the words that begin everything. Mr. Brown, we will start by reviewing the property draft allegedly written by you. Kody opens his mouth, ready to lie, ready to spin, ready to fight. But he freezes, because the judge adds, and a handwriting expert has already been assigned to verify authorship. Robin gasps. Janelle's eyes widen. Paedon leans forward, heart pounding. Kody's entire body stiffens. And in a voice tight with panic, he whispers, "Who told you to bring in an expert?" The judge lifts a brow. "Your son." The courtroom goes still. The tension snaps like a live wire. And before Kody can speak, the door opens behind them. A man walks in carrying a briefcase. The handwriting expert. Kody's breathing falters. This is it. The truth is about to become public. And nothing can stop it now. The courtroom falls into a thick hush as the handwriting expert walks to the stand. His shoes click sharply against the floor. Deliberate, precise, confident. This is a man who can read truth the way others read ink. Kody's eyes follow him, tense and unblinking. Robin sits rigid beside him, her fingers twisted tightly in the strap of her purse, lips trembling, ever so slightly. Janelle doesn't look at Kody. She stares ahead, jaw locked, shoulders trembling with controlled emotion. And Paedon? He sits upright, hands clasped together, breathing hard but steady. The judge nods toward the expert. "State your name and your credentials, please." The expert clears his throat. "My name is Dr. Lawrence Weaver. I am a certified forensic document examiner with 22 years of experience. I have testified in over 80 court cases." He speaks with calm authority, the kind that leaves no room for doubt. He places his briefcase on the witness stand, opens it, and removes several clear sheets. Each one holds a sample of Kody's handwriting from over the years. Old legal documents, tax forms, even a fragment of a handwritten note from the family's early days. Then the expert holds up the document found in the box. "The question," Dr. Weaver says, "is whether this property allocation draft was written and annotated by Mr. Kody Brown." Kody shifts in his seat. "I've already said I don't know what that is. Anyone could have written something like that." The expert does not even look at him. He simply begins. "I analyzed the slant, pressure, baseline alignment, and individualized quirks present in both sets of writing. I found 15 congruent matches. These are highly specific, including the unique way Mr. Brown writes the letter R, his cross stroke on lowercase t's, and the connection pattern between the letters O and D." The judge leans forward. "And your conclusion?" Dr. Weaver looks directly at Kody. "My conclusion is that the handwritten notes on this draft were written by Mr. Brown. It is his handwriting." There is no doubt. The courtroom erupts in whispers, gasps, and sharp inhales. Robin grabs Kody's arm, her nails digging into his sleeve. Janelle's breath shudders out of her. Paedon closes his eyes just for a moment, a mix of vindication and heartbreak rushing through him. The judge bangs the gavel. "Order!" But Kody has already snapped. "This is ridiculous," he barks, rising to his feet. "You people don't understand. This isn't what it looks like." The judge narrows her gaze. "Mr. Brown, sit down." Kody sits, but his rage does not. He turns on Paedon, voice low, dangerous. "You think you know what you found? You don't. You never understood how things work. You never understood me." Paedon's throat tightens, but he doesn't look away. "I understood enough to know you tried to erase us." The silence following those words hits like a physical blow. It's the kind of silence that changes the air around it. The judge gestures to the bailiff. Copies of the document are handed to each party. The courtroom reads in heavy silence. The line excluding Janelle's voice is highlighted. The note from Robin is attached as an exhibit. The judge clears her throat. "Mr. Brown, are you denying that this document was written by you?" Kody hesitates. That hesitation is louder than anything he could say. Robin squeezes his hand, whispering something urgent, but it isn't enough to pull him together. May have written an early draft, Kody admits, but it wasn't final. Janelle's voice breaks the air like a shard of glass. You were going to remove my sons from their inheritance? Kody stiffens. It was just one idea, one option. I never... Then why hide it? Janelle demands. He opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. That is the moment he loses control of the narrative. Because the truth is visible on his face, even if he will never say it aloud. The judge motions forward. We will now allow cross-examination. And that's when the attorney assigned to Janelle and her son stands. A woman with a firm expression and sharp voice. She approaches the stand slowly, like someone preparing to expose something rotten beneath a floorboard. Dr. Weaver, she begins, is there any possibility that someone else could have imitated this handwriting well enough to appear authentic? No, he replies without hesitation. Mr. Kari, Brown's writing has unique neurological patterns. Replication would be statistically implausible. Kody's jaw twitches. The attorney continues. You mentioned connection patterns between O and D. Can you explain? Yes. Mr. Brown makes a slight upward hook before completing the D. It's consistent in every sample, including the draft. She turns to the judge. No further questions. As the expert steps down, something in Kody snaps again. He slams his hand on the table, making everyone jump. Robin flinches beside him. You're twisting everything, he shouts. I had to consider all possibilities for the family's future. It wasn't personal. Paedon stands. Removing me wasn't personal? His voice cracks. Not weak, wounded. Kody spins toward him. You don't understand the pressure I was under. The land needed structure, not chaos. He stops himself, but he's already said too much. Paedon takes one step closer. His voice drops. Say it. Me what? Kody breathes hard, eyes glazing with desperation. You're unpredictable, son. You always have been. I had to think about stability, about the future. There it is. The sentence that rips open years of old wounds. The courtroom feels it. Everyone feels it. Robin puts her hand over her mouth. Christine's eyes glisten from the back row. Janelle's shoulders collapse inward, like someone has punched her in the soul. Paedon just stares at his father, numb. You think I'm unstable, so you erased me. He says it softly, but the words shake. Kody tries to backpedal. I didn't say that. You wrote it, Paedon replies. In ink. In your own handwriting. The judge leans forward. Mr. Brown, please control your outbursts. But there is no control left in the room because the emotional dam is cracking fast. This is the first time father and son have spoken their truth without a camera, without editing, without a script. Just raw, painful reality. Robin suddenly stands, her voice quivering. Your Honor, this entire situation has been taken out of context. The document was never intended to hurt anyone. I told Kody to keep it because... Robin, the judge interrupts sharply. Sit down. You will speak only when called upon. Robin sits, furious and shaking. Paedon turns toward her, his voice colder than the air outside. You helped him hide it, Robin swallows. It wasn't like that. Oh, he replies. Then what was the note supposed to mean? He pulls out the small envelope with her handwriting. The courtroom watches her freeze. It was about protecting our discussions, she stammers. From who? Paedon demands. From us? From the boys you were trying to cut out? Robin looks to Kody for help, but Kody is unraveling too quickly to save her. Janelle closes her eyes, a tear slipping down as she whispers, How could you? Her voice breaks something in the room, something delicate and old. A memory, a promise, a family that once pretended to be united. The judge breaks the tension with a firm voice. We will take a 15-minute recess before continuing. Mr. Brown, you are not permitted to leave the courtroom? The gavel hits. People stand. The courtroom bursts into murmurs and shock. Some stare at Kody. Others look at Paedon with quiet sympathy. Everyone can feel the fracture. Janelle reaches for Paedon's arm. Are you okay? He nods, but his eyes drift toward the floor. I didn't want it to be true. Janelle pulls him into a tight hug, mother to son, fierce and trembling. You deserved better, she whispers. Robin and Kody are whispering furiously at the defense table. Robin's face is tight, angry, scared. Kody's expression is hollow, like a man realizing his lies have finally run out of places to hide. Christine walks up quietly behind Paedon. I'm proud of you, she says softly. Telling the truth took courage. He nods without looking up. I'm not done. When the recess ends, everyone returns. The judge sits. The room quiets. Court is back in session. And then, the attorney for the boys stands. We call our next witness, she announces. Everyone leans forward. This wasn't expected. Even Kody looks shocked. The attorney continues. We call Garrison Brown to the stand. Janelle gasps. Paedon's head snaps toward the door. Christine covers her mouth. And Kody. Kody goes pale. Because this isn't just about a document anymore. This has become a reckoning. The door opens. Garrison steps inside. His face is hard. His eyes are darker than the desert at night. His presence shifts the air. He walks to the witness stand without looking at his father. And as he raises his hand to swear in, Kody whispers something only Robin can hear. This is about to get worse. The courthouse feels different today. Not louder, not calmer, just charged. Like the tension itself showed up early and took a seat in the front row. People whisper as the families enter. Janelle walks in with stiff shoulders. Christine arrives tight-lipped. Even Mary slips in quietly, like she's bracing for an earthquake she already knows is coming. And right in the center of all that tension, Paedon sits at the plaintiff's table, jaw clenched, staring straight ahead. He's not angry today. He's ready. Kody shows up late, flustered, irritated, and already muttering about how this whole thing has become a circus created by ungrateful children. Robin trails behind him like a shadow, her hand on his arm, whispering to him, guiding him, calming him, or perhaps controlling him. Hard to tell anymore. When Judge Harrington enters, the entire courtroom stands, but you can feel the anxiety vibrating under the floorboards. Today is the day. Today, the handwriting expert testifies. And for the first time, Kody Brown realizes he might lose control of the narrative. The first crack in Kody's armor. Judge Harrington clears her throat. Session 3 will resume with the testimony of the handwriting analyst. Kody instantly stiffens. He wasn't worried yesterday. He mocked Paedon, mocked the document, mocked the idea that any expert could say anything meaningful. But today, he refuses to look toward the witness bench. Robin keeps whispering to him. He keeps shaking his head. And Paedon? Paedon doesn't move at all. His stillness is louder than any outburst. Janelle wipes her eyes before they even call the witness. The bailiff opens the side door. A woman enters, confident, composed, carrying a case file thick enough to sink a ship. Dr. Helena McCrae, 30 years of forensic handwriting analysis, former FBI contract examiner, certified in document authentication and forged signature analysis. Kody's knee bounces, then another bounce, then another. The camera of a courtroom sketch artist catches it. Even the public gallery notices. Paedon's attorney stands. Your Honor, the plaintiffs call Dr. Helena McCrae to the stand. She sits, adjusts her glasses, places her documents on the witness rail, and waits. The questions begin. The attorney approaches. Dr. McCrae, please state your qualifications for the record. She does, and she does not rush a single syllable. The room stays dead silent for every one of them. When she finishes, the attorney nods. Doctor, did you receive a document titled Proposed Family Property Restructuring Agreement, also known as the betrayal file? I did. And did you compare the handwriting in that document to verified samples of Mr. Kody Brown's writing? I did. And your conclusion? She folds her hands gently on the table. Her voice is steady. My conclusion is that the document was written entirely by Mr. Brown. A gasp hits the room like a slap. Janelle covers her mouth. Christine shuts her eyes. Robin grabs Kody's arm. Kody jerks it away. Paedon doesn't smile, doesn't react, doesn't gloat. He just breathes, finally. The attorney nods. Doctor, what is the probability of your conclusion being incorrect? Less than 1%. Kody erupts. Kody shoots to his feet. That is a lie. A full, fabricated, manipulated lie. Judge Harrington slams her gavel. Sit down, Mr. Brown. I will not sit down while someone forges papers and tries to destroy my family. Robin and I have been targeted for years. These kids, these ungrateful, disobedient, Mr. Brown, sit down. Kody forces himself back into his seat, fists trembling. Paedon still doesn't look at him. It's worse than anger. It's indifference. The kind that says, I'm done fighting for your approval. Kody can't handle that. His breathing turns erratic. Robin tries to calm him. He swats her hand away again. A reporter whispers to another. He's unraveling. Doctor. McCrae continues. The attorney resumes. Doctor, can you specify what markers confirm the writing belonged to Mr. Brown? Certainly. Pressure patterns, stroke patterns, spacing habits, unique letter formations, and signature characteristics matched Mr. Brown's verified samples with a very high degree of certainty. The attorney lifts the betrayal file. Doctor, in your expert opinion, was this document altered, forged, or manipulated? No, it is entirely original. No signs of tampering. Robin folds her arms, tight, defensive. Kody looks like a man drowning in plain sight. And the expert isn't finished. There are also notes in the margins, written in the same handwriting, indicating revisions to the plan. Notes that reference individual children by name. This time, Paedon finally turns toward his father, and Kody looks away. The notes in the margins, the attorney approaches the projector and clicks to enlarge one scanned page. Large, clear, undeniable, handwritten notes in pen. One reads, Garrison will resist, push harder, emphasize disrespect. Another, Gabe will cave if pressured with finances. And the worst one, Paedon, remove entirely, unstable. Janelle covers her face and quietly cries. Christine whispers, Oh my God. Mary looks physically sick. Gabe, sitting behind Paedon, shakes his head and mutters, He really wrote that? About us? But Paedon, he's stone. He's not shocked. He's not broken. He already knew what kind of father he had. Kody bursts again. This is taken out of context. Those notes were ideas, random thoughts, brainstorming. Paedon finally speaks. Brainstorming how to erase your sons? Silence. Stone cold, cutting silence. The cross-examination, Robin's attorney stands. She's been quiet until now. Dr. McCrae, is it possible someone practiced Mr. Brown's handwriting? Enough to imitate it accurately? No, not at this level. Could the samples you were given have been tampered with? No, they came directly from Mr. Brown's legal files. Robin shifts uncomfortably. And could these alleged margin notes have been added later? No. They match the inkage, pressure depth, and degradation of the main text. So, to confirm, your stance is that these writings belong to Mr. Brown? Yes. Robin sits quickly, too quickly. Something in her eyes flashes. Fear? Panic? Or into guilt? The real explosion. Judge Harrington dismisses the witness, but she doesn't dismiss the tension. Before the next witness can be called, Paedon stands up. Not angry, not shaking, just ready. Your Honor, before the next motion, I need to ask something. The judge studies him. Proceed carefully, Mr. Brown. Paedon turns toward his father, but he speaks to the room. When I found that file, when I opened that old box, I thought maybe it was old, abandoned, forgotten. I hoped it was something he wrote years ago and never meant to use. He swallows hard. Until I saw the date. The judge leans forward. What date? Paedon lifts a printed photo of the file's header. March 14th, last year. Janelle gasps like she's been stabbed. Christine whispers, He wrote it after everything, after the boys left. Robin's face drains of color, but Kody goes completely still. A stillness more terrifying than any explosion. Paedon continues. He wrote this after Garrison stopped talking to him, after Gabe confronted him about forgetting his birthday, after I left, after we all begged him to show up. He wrote it when he'd already lost us. Then he looks straight at his father. And he wrote it anyway. The courtroom feels colder. Judge Harrington's voice drops to a grave tone. Mr. Brown, is this true? Kody's jaw locks. His fists clench. His neck reddens. And then, it was a draft, a thought, a possibility if things continued downward. You don't know, you don't understand what I... But Paedon cuts him off. You were planning to punish us for not letting you punish us. And Kody breaks, truly breaks. I was trying to save what I had left. Robin grabs his arm. Kody, stop, please. But he pulls away. I wrote what I had to write to protect your mother, your sisters, your future. Paedon answers quietly, we are your future. And Kody snaps. I have other children who respect me more. The entire room inhales sharply. Every camera swings toward him. Every reporter scribbles faster. Janelle lets out a choked sob. Gabe mutters, wow, wow. And Paedon? He finally looks wounded. Truly wounded. He mutters, barely audible. There it is. Robin whispers frantically to Kody, you need to stop. You need to stop. But the damage is done. And the judge? Her expression shifts into something chilling. Something decisive. Mr. Brown, after today's testimony and your own statements on record, I am compelled to take immediate judicial action. Kody blinks. What? What action? The judge lifts her gavel, and in that cold, echoing courtroom, she announces something that changes the entire trajectory of the case. Something no one was prepared for. Something that turns the room into stunned silence. Effective immediately, she pauses. The court is ordering a full forensic financial audit of all Brown family property holdings and trust accounts. Robin nearly collapses. Kody's face drains of color. Mary covers her mouth. Christine whispers, it's happening? And Paedon? He closes his eyes because he knows this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. The courthouse feels like a different world by the time session 4 begins. Reporters swarm the entrance. Camera crews pile onto the sidewalk. Fans, critics, and curious onlookers gather in tight clusters, whispering aggressively. Because Judge Harrington's order, an immediate full forensic audit of all Brown family property holdings, has detonated across Flagstaff like a bomb. Every real estate agent knows. Every bank teller knows. Every accountant, every clerk, every lawyer within 3 miles of this courthouse. They all know the Brown family isn't just fighting anymore. They're unraveling. Inside the courtroom, the energy is electric and ugly. Paedon sits forward, hands clasped, hyper-focused. Garrison's absence feels like a wound in the air. Gabe sits behind Paedon, leaning forward, tense, protective. Janelle? She looks exhausted, pale, betrayed. But also something else. Ready. Christine sits beside her like steel wrapped in warmth. Mary watches everything with a face that gives nothing away. Robin enters last, clutching a stack of papers like they're a life raft she's terrified to lose. Kody stands next to her, but something has changed. Something big. His posture is weaker. His eyes dart too much. He looks like a man realizing the ground under his feet might not exist tomorrow. Judge Harrington enters, robe swirling, gavel sharp in hand. We're only seconds into session 4, and already the room feels moments away from implosion. The auditor's arrival. The judge clears her throat. Today, the court will hear preliminary findings from the independent forensic auditor, Mr. Nathaniel Cross. A tall, sharp-featured man rises from the gallery. Gray suit, no smile, eyes like searchlights. Robin grips the defense table so hard her knuckles turn white. Kody mutters, this is ridiculous. Over a draft. A draft. But Paedon doesn't look at him. He's watching Cross. Because Cross looks like the kind of man who doesn't miss a single detail. The bailiff swears him in. Cross places a thick folder on the witness rail, then a thicker one, then a USB drive. Christine leans toward Janelle. This is about to get messy. Janelle whispers, voice breaking, I think it already is. The first bombshell, the attorney begins. Mr. Cross, you were tasked with performing a preliminary audit of Brown Family Financial Holdings. Yes? Yes. And you completed your initial review? Yes. And what did you find? Cross opens the first folder. We discovered multiple irregularities in the transfer of Coyote Pass property rights. Robin's eyes widen. Kody mutters, Don't say it. Don't you dare. Cross continues. These irregularities began shortly after the separation of Mr. Brown and Mrs. Janelle Brown. A ripple moves across the room, but Cross isn't finished. Specifically, 3 parcels of land originally intended to be co-owned by the entire family were transferred quietly and without transparent disclosure into a separate, privately controlled entity. Paedon stiffens. Gabe mutters, I knew it. Christine's mouth falls open. Mary sits back, stunned. But Janelle? Janelle goes absolutely white. She whispers, What entity? Cross lifts the next sheet. A limited liability corporation registered under the name Bright Star Management LLC. The room goes silent.